Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys another method or strategy on using tech scores. If you haven't watched the video on calculating tech scores, please watch that one as we will be using the data in this R markdown. What the script intends to find is the number of top ranking stocks we should buy at what bar. So again, we're using the 15-minute bars, and we're going to optimize and see when we should buy and when we should sell, along with the number of stocks we should hold in our portfolio. So we're going to begin by reading in the data files we've generated for all the tech scores every 15 minutes, and all of that data will get saved into this data frame in line 17, and we're going to make sure that our timestamps are in New York time. Now for the actual function we're going to be using, we're only going to need 4 parameters, which are the trade date, the bar or the time, the number of bars we should hold our positions for, and also the total number of stocks in our portfolio. In our optimization, we're going to be passing in our trade date, and we're going to set the bar, the hold bars, and the number of stocks as inputs for the optimization. What this function will do is going to subset our data for the trade date that we pass in, along with the current bar, which is passed in as hours, minutes, and seconds. And for that particular bar on that given day, we're going to rank our stocks highest to lowest using our tech score, and we're going to again subset by the number of stocks we want in our portfolio. And we're only going to need these 4 columns, and since we have the symbol, we can go ahead and pass that into this lapply, and we're going to see what the stock price is a couple of bars later, and the price itself is going to come from our data set. So if we take a look at our main data frame with all of our tech scores, we're going to subset our symbol, our date, our price, and the tech score, which is the last column. So we're able to locate the price at any given bar, so long as we have our tech scores for that bar. So again, back in our script here, after we find the end price, we're going to combine all of our data, which is in points and in percentage terms, and we're going to see if we had invested $100 for each of the stocks that it chooses, and we're going to use that for shares. And if we multiply the number of shares with our points, we get our gross P&L. So this function will return a data frame, and if we take a look at an example of what that might look like, the output from that function will be the symbol, the open date or timestamp, the close price on this particular timestamp, the tech score when we closed our position, the end price, the percentage return, the number of points, the number of shares given that we have invested $100 in this particular stock, and our gross P&L in dollars. But we'll go ahead and come back to this table later. I just wanted to show you the example. So back in the script, so we're going to extract all the unique dates in our data frame, and here we're going to create 15-minute intervals from the market open to the market close. Now for the actual optimization, we need to create a function that seeks to optimize something. For this function, we're only going to optimize 3 inputs, which is the open bar. So what timestamp should we open our positions, the number of hold bars we should use, and the total number of stocks we should invest in. So it's going to generate that table, and if there's no errors, we're going to extract the average return. We're then going to convert that into an XTS object. We're seeking to optimize the average return over the max drawdown, so we don't want any large drawdowns, and hopefully the optimization that we run will give us good results. For each of the parameters we seek to optimize, we need to set our lower and upper limits. So for the first parameter, it's going to subset our times. So a trading day has 26 bars, so I'm going to choose one of the 26. For the hold bars, I just want to hold between 1 bar all the way to 26. And for the number of stocks, the minimum I want to hold is 1, and the maximum will be 20. Now for the limits, we need to set these to whole numbers, so we need to create a function that rounds all of these numbers to 0 decimal places, so whole numbers essentially. And now once we have that set, we can run our optimization by passing in our optimization function, our lower and upper limits. Since this is just an example, the number of maximum iterations was set to 10, but I suggest doing something greater than 100 to get better results. And then finally, just passing in our rounding function. Now for each of the iterations, it'll get a printout where it's going to print the values at each step. So this first number is the optimization value, and then you'll see a list for each of the parameters it found. So it looks like for these iterations, it's saying that we should open at the 22nd bar, we should hold the stocks for 22 bars, and the total number of stocks we should hold is only 5. As the optimization runs, you'll often see these numbers change. At the end of the optimization, it's going to store all of our values into Optim. So we're going to extract the best results from the optimization and pass them into this function, which will generate that data frame that I showed you earlier called best. And for our best parameters, it was telling us to buy at the second bar, which is the 945 bar. We should buy 12 of the top ranking stocks. So you'll see that for 1 through 12, we all have the same timestamp. We're going to hold for 2 additional bars, so we should close them at 10:15. So this table will display the trading results given our optimization, and if we plot our gross P&L, which is this plot here, we see that the strategy returned about $40. For the most part, we see that the equity curve keeps rising. Does not necessarily mean that it's going to continue to the upside, but it's something that you might want to look into if you're interested in this type of trade. Now, one thing I wanted to change was here for the FN map. These values should read 1, 2, and 3. And if you don't want to use up to 20 stocks, you can lower this to something like 5 or 4, just so that there's not a lot of turnover going on. But I will leave that up to you. And with that, guys, this concludes the video. I hope this was useful information. I'll leave a link down in the description area to my Patreon where you can find the script. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.